Alright, so welcome back. Today I wanted to share how I fixed my nagging elbow injury. So I first got it when I tried to do a muscle up like 4 years ago, and I definitely didn't have the strength to do it yet.
Yes, 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 yes.
So I ended up like minorly dislocating the inside of my elbow, and so ever since then it's kind of been popping out if I try to do like pull-ups or anything that require like stability in the elbow. And I wanted to share how I figured that out and made my elbow work normally again. So I want to talk about the 3 ways that I actually got my elbow back to normal. And what I had to do was release the muscles a lot. So your muscles can get pretty tight, and like with stuff like lacrosse balls or like a hypervolt, you can kind of release that tension and make your muscles stronger and make them less painful, so that it helps like your elbow joint work better. And then I wanted to get blood flow into my elbow to kind of like release inflammation. And I did that through blood flow restriction with the voodoo floss. And the 3rd way was actually just kind of strengthening the muscles around my elbow. And I'll take you through the 3 exercises that mainly helped me to restore strength there. So the first thing I want to talk about when trying to fix your elbow problems is kind of just loosening up the muscles around the joint. So the first way, and like the easiest one that is pretty accessible to everybody, is just a lacrosse ball. And you can use that just by like rubbing it on your muscles and like pushing it in, and anywhere it like hurts, you're gonna want to do that more. And you can just use your hand, or if you want to like need a little more pressure, you can kind of go to the side, put the ball on the ground, and then like push it into your forearm. And you want to do your forearm and a little bit of like your upper like biceps, triceps, all that. The forearm for me feels a lot more like there's a lot more tightness there, so I tend to do my forearm more. But some people may have more tightness in like the bicep, tricep, so wherever it feels the tightest is where you want to use the lacrosse ball. The second way I dealt with my nagging elbow injury was to use blood flow restriction on it. And the way I did that was with this thing, which is a voodoo floss. And so what it does is basically like a rubber band that you wrap around your arm to restrict blood flow to that area. And then you leave it on for like a minute or 2, or until it starts like tingling, and then you take it off, and it's supposed to have blood like rush back into that area and flush out like inflammation and things like that. And so your elbow will work a lot better and the joint moves better after you do it. What I actually did for my elbow is wrap it around like my upper arm, so that it restricts blood flow like down through the rest of my arm and into my elbow, and then it feels a lot better. So I'll show you what it looks like. It's a little hard to wrap it on yourself, so if you have someone to help you, that's usually good. So after I get it on, I'll usually do some like exercises for like my bicep or my forearm. You can see already like veins are starting to pop out because the blood flow is a little restricted. And that's why you really don't want to leave it on there for too long, because I mean, obviously restricting blood flow to an area for super long is gonna have negative effects, but for just a little bit, it can actually be pretty positive. So I'll do like bicep curls or something with like kind of a heavy, light weight, because too heavy, like your arms, like your muscles don't work quite as well. So doing a lighter weight gets the same like activation. And then I'll do some forearm like activation exercises, usually with like a really like light weight, because generally like this like forearm area isn't very strong. So like less than 5 pounds is pretty good. And I'll just do this for a little bit until like my arm either starts to like turn purple or like starts tingling a bit, or if I hit like 2 minutes. Okay, so my arm's starting to tingle a little bit, so I'm just gonna take it off. And then you can just unwrap it. And now you can see, like, if you see little lines, that's usually knowing that you wrapped it tight enough. And so now all the blood, you can kind of feel it if you do it, all the blood just starts rushing back through here, and it will like relieve the pain that you have a lot, or just make it more mobile so you can get to like full range of motion. So the third thing I did to help fix my elbow problems was actually just to try and build up the muscles around it. And so the three main muscles you are like your forearm, your bicep, and your tricep that help to like stabilize the elbow. What I did was have an exercise I did for each muscle, and I did them usually pretty light and just like multiple times throughout the day. So it's best if you can like do it at your house and then just like take 5 minutes every like few hours. Just do like a set of it. The exercise I chose to do for my forearms are these pretty simple raises with a light weight. So it's just pretty simple. You're just like raising, and the main key with this is to not use your bicep and to isolate the forearm muscles so you can create strength there. To strengthen my biceps, I also chose something pretty simple that you can do often, like throughout the day, and they were just like bicep curls. And the thing with these are to kind of similar to the last one, but like mainly use the muscle you're trying to grow. So just mainly use your biceps. Try not to like use momentum to get yourself up, so no like rocking back and forth. Try to just stabilize really tight and then just focus on using your biceps. And do these like up to like 10 reps per set, and just try and do it like a few times throughout the day. To focus my triceps, I just did some simple like tricep extensions. So it's just like taking a pretty light weight, so I have like a 10-pound, and then like holding it above your head and then lowering and bringing it back up. So it's pretty simple. And with this one, similarly to the curls, I mean, you want to try and focus your triceps, and then also you should probably do sets, like something that you can do for 10. Then my main problem with these was kind of feeling pretty tight in my triceps, so I had to mobilize those first with the lacrosse ball before this felt like comfortable. And also with any of these exercises, if they don't feels like you're pulling on something too much or like something is popping, it's generally a bad sign. So try and either like mobilize it first, or if it doesn't go away, go to like a doctor or chiropractor, somebody who can help you. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to make this video to share how I fixed my elbow problems, and hopefully it can help some of you out as well.